So this is a documentation of the story where I got locked up for carrying a sword. So basically what happened was I went out that day. I brought a sword with me because I was trying to show my sword that I made to the PS because I wanted people to see that I have hobbies. And so I went off. I walked. I brought the sword with me. I wore a jacket just a jacket over top of me, and I didn't have any shirt on. And so I walked a couple miles. I went to first I went to the park, and I practiced with the sword at the park. Um, First of all, I had to do this because they wouldn't let me break. They wouldn't let me break wood. Um, at my house, so I wanted to actually break the sword in half just to make a shorter sword with it. But when I got to the park, I realized something about breaking wood, that I didn't need to break this wood because I didn't have any long swords that I really liked, and I wanted to at least keep that. And then when I got to the park, I realized, you know what, I'm not going to break this because I like this wood, this sword enough that I'm going to keep this sword the way it is. And so I brought it to PS, and I wanted to show it off because I had made this previously by breaking wood with my feet, just by stomping like that. Oh, you see that? Yeah. So that's how I would break wood, and you got plenty of videos of evidence of me breaking wood, and I've never used any of these swords, mind you. Oh, let me get my tea. I've never used any of these swords to fight anyone with. I've only done shadow boxing. My whole channel is about shadow boxing, and so I never really used these to fight people with it. Because I honestly knew when I fought that Mexican dude, that's why I had to go to jail and all that, and this court process, this long drawn out court process. Which, in my opinion, is just wasting my time. I don't think I should have to keep explaining this, but since someone wanted a video, and so the courts can also watch this too if they want to watch my videos, because I know they do. It was Slimmy that suggested this video, and I thought it would be interesting story time just because. Yeah, I brought that sword to PS, and I started talking about pretty much spirit physics and kind of like religion, about the roots of all of people's names and their religion and the religions of the gods and everything. And I was talking all about this, and I talked about how like that Anne chick was part of Annabelle, which was one of the demons that was putting magic spells on me. And I broke down pretty much everything that was going on at PS and why I didn't want to be there. And they forced me to be there because they had this class. Pretty much, it was supposed to be some therapy session, but they barely ever let me talk. And then when I finally got to talk at the end of the class, I was talking about all the spirit physics and all about religion, and they didn't like that. I was saying too much truth, and I had my sword on me. And then when I walked back, they called the cops on me. And then so once they called the cops on me, I was like, they brought me into the mental hospital, and they said it was just going to be a assessment. Well, it wasn't an assessment. It was them taking me in. Uh, so like I said about all the things that I've been saying in my videos, they kind of like try to deduce me to be crazy. But how come a lot of the stuff I say makes sense? How come a lot of the stuff I say is exactly what it says in other religious textbooks, like the Apocrypha and the Omicron? Now nobody really knows about the Omicron, but I know about the language of the gods, which is suffering. Suffering made up the whole universe at one point. Don't you know, like to suffer for righteousness' sake is what it says in the Bible. So that's how you extrapolate knowledge. Knowledge comes from suffering. If you don't suffer, you can't empathize with other people. You can't understand people. You can't understand human psychology. And so, a lot of people don't understand me because I have a lot of issues. Yeah, I have issues. My mind, yes, can be very smart, but it can also be very haunted. My mind has a lot of pitfalls where I do certain things that I'm not proud of. And I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. And women have scarred me so much, like in the mental hospital. They would constantly use jealousy on me. They constantly pull that jealousy card on me. They talk to all those other men, make me feel like I was inferior. And I had to do so much to just try to earn back my respect. And either way, I realized something that it doesn't matter what you do for these women. These women will always play these manipulation games. That's what they're good at. You know, you could be the best man on this planet. You could be one of the most handsome, most attractive, smart, funny guys on this planet, and you could still not get any women like me. Like I only got Kelly, and that's about it. But this guy named Tony, when I was at the mental hospital, he was able to pick up a bunch of chicks, and that was after I pretty much brought I brought this ladybug into this room, and I called her Sarah, and I said she was my love bug because I started befriending a ladybug in there, and then when I started praying and loving this ladybug by singing songs I sang these women into existence pretty much, because then they started coining the term love bug, and then they started talking to Tony, and right before that I had nursed this ladybug by watching Iron Man, and Iron Man I told him like that Tony was the guy that stole my women from me, and I was the pretty much the bad guy in that movie trying to get back at Tony. And so that's why they started liking on Tony, and this guy Tony was picking up all the chicks, and it got me angry, and I punched the wall, and I actually killed these ladybugs that I've pretty much nursed into existence, and their spirits were in that air, and they were talking to all of us, and I couldn't even see them, so I didn't know if they were even real or not. But I knew I could hear them talking, and so yeah, these women, man, they put so much of they always pull that jealousy card so many times in my life, and put these love spells on you. Like they want you feeling jealous, and then once you can't get with them, it fucks with you. It fucks with your mind and your soul and your body, because deep down they've created a monster in me. I have issues because these women made me so fucking self-centered, because I had to do so much working out to be good enough for them. And being good enough for them just means I have to do so much just to feel like Like it's like just to feel like I'm good enough, and I never can reach that good enough standard. I'm either too much or I'm too little. I'm never like good enough. And then when I'm not good enough, I have to compare myself to other men, and it gets me in this constant cycle of comparison. And then when I can't feel like I'm good enough, I end up, jacking off to porn, and it just makes me feel like I'll never fully be satisfied. I'll never fully be satisfied because even with Kelly, like there's times where I just feel like I'm not satisfied with her, when it comes to sexuality, because a lot of times I see these women that are in, like, I guess, better shape. I wouldn't call them the greatest in shape, because a lot of them can't barely even run at all or do any like physical working out, but they just somehow are skinny. But that's a bad way to judge women. But I just like skinny women, and all because I like these skinny women, it's like I have to go through so many hoops just to try to get that, and then when I can't get that, it makes me have to jack off to porn. And then when I do, I just feel like, why am I even having to do this? Why am I having to do this out of all people? Why can't I have a girl that loves me, that also I can be fully attracted to, and not have, you know, issues in bed with her, because with me and Kelly, me I just it's so hard to get off with her. Like, we when we fuck, it's like I can't barely get off. Like, it's like it takes me forever to jack off, to finish. I mean, to finish, and it's like, and lately I just don't even want to jack off anymore. But it's the only reason I do is because I need to sleep, and they didn't give me my pills, and because they didn't give me my pills, I end up having to do that. Something that I shouldn't even have to do, I have to do because they didn't give me my pills. Instead, they gave me this injection, and when they give me this injection, it's like I can't even sleep on it, and then I end up staying up because they created all these cycles in me. They created my addiction to caffeine, and because of that, because they was constantly serving me caffeine in the hospital, I'm so addicted to caffeine that I got such an adrenaline rush that I'm doing so much, and then suddenly I crash on it, and then I want to go to bed and I can't even sleep. It's just a fucking it's just a hard fucking life to have to live, man. I would not wish my life on my worst enemy. They created this monster, and then they judged this monster for being fucked up. Well, guess what? You created this monster. All right? I don't want to hear this shit. Judges in courts and all these people that want to prosecute me for something that it's not even my fault. I got in one fucking fight. One fight. And that's enough for me to have to go through all this court system. I have to go through all this mental hospitals and all this shit. All because of one fucking fight that I beat this Mexican dude. And was it worth it? No. It wasn't. Just to prove that I'm a good fighter? What the fuck does it matter? Tell me that. What does it matter if I'm a good fighter if it means I have to go through all this court system, all this bullshit with the mental hospitals and jail and all this stuff? I only did that shit because I wanted to prove that I'm a good fighter, because everyone needs proof. And what does it do when I prove that? When I prove that I'm a good fighter? I have to go through all this court system and bullshit. And PS, going to PS, and I don't even want to go to PS. I hate going to PS. I think it's just a waste of my time, waste of valuable time that I have, that I could be doing other things I take my time valuably. I take it like time is the most valuable thing. I don't want anyone wasting my time in a place where they don't even understand anything about anything, and they act like they're some like psychologists and some psychiatrists or whatever they want to call themselves, counselors. They're not anything like that. They don't have any knowledge about anything, and they want to act like they know so much that they need to tell you how to therapeuticize yourself. No, they don't. They don't know anything about anything. I know way more than these therapists about psychology because I had to go through all the psychological experiments that they did on me. And you know what they did? They fucked me up in the head. All right, I have so much damage in my cerebral core, man. From all the painful memories that they gave me. They gave me so much painful memories. But tortured me in those mental hospitals, tortured me in all these places that I've been in. And all I got is pain in my memory core. And so you can understand that the few things I have, I'm appreciative of. I'm appreciative of my cat. I'm appreciative of Slimmy. I'm appreciative of the YouTube audience that watches me, that doesn't criticize me. I'm talking about the ones that don't criticize me, okay? I'm not talking about the ones that criticize me constantly. I don't want those people in my life, okay? I don't want these people that constantly criticize me in my life. I don't need more critics in my life. I need people that are actually supporters, okay? Because I've done enough to get supporters, okay? I post videos every fucking day pretty much. Multiple videos. Doing all kinds of training, though. And if y'all have any more advice about what kinds of training you want to see me do, you can even leave in the description what kinds of new training that you want me to do, because I'll do all kinds of different training. I'll even do some running, like today maybe I might go for a run, and it's like film some of it. I don't know how I'm gonna film it or not. Like it's gonna be hard to film it because the camera's gonna be really shaky. I don't know if I can film it. That's one thing that I might not be able to film, because running is definitely a hard thing to film. I don't know how I'm gonna film it, but if I had a GoPro, then that would definitely help solve the shakiness issue with the camera. I want to go for a run, but I don't know how I'm gonna film any of that shit. I mean, what I was thinking about the direction with this channel is we can do our normal training, and then we can also do a mix of different calisthenic skills and different high intensity interval training. I was wanting to get into high intensity interval training and teach different skills, different types of exercises. But I also wanted to see what other kinds of content y'all want me to make. It doesn't even have to be exercise content. It could be whatever. I don't know, drawing or art, artsy fartsy shit. I don't care. I could start getting back into art again once I get a fucking pen and something to write with and something to color with, when I don't have anything to do that with. Anyways, that was a story about what happened at the mental hospital, what got me locked up, and a little bit about what happened in the mental hospital. Anyways, I also met all the prophets in there. I met Jehovah, who was Joshua. And I met Tomas, who was one of my twins, my twin brothers. And I met Mark, who all of them helped write the Bible, and King James, they helped to write the Bible. Anyways, I get back to my training, so peace.